taking up 326:13. When I was up on the craft, Malachi and I were talking. One of the things I was standing in front of him saying is I couldn't wait to get back to tell y'all all the things that I experienced, this, that, and the other. And he told me very succinctly, don't tell those mortals anything. But at the same time, he told me, don't forget that you and I have to finish raising 144,000. My question is, how do I raise the 144,000 without talking, without telling you nothing? You follow me?
That's right.
So that's crazy. You understand?
But he said mortals, right? Does he mean anything with that?
Say it again.
Does he mean anything with saying mortals?
He's talking about sleep people in the planet, mortals. Because anytime that you're taking up on the craft, like I was, and you eat dinner with them, or drink water, and you walk around on those crafts and you break time being taken up the vortex, you're immortal from that point on. Are you following me? That's why I died more than once and I'm still on the phone with you. Do you understand? Right. And there are Anunnaki that don't want y'all to become immortal. You understand? Like Murdoch and a lot of them, and they argue with the council, let them niggers and crackers die like mortals on earth. You understand? And I'm here trying to save some of y'all, and you get mad with me. All right? 106. They can't move any future soul. They're trapped here in the shift and will fade out of existence to a spirit state. You will not be able to reach those who moved up from 4th Igalu, 5th Mangalu, and 6th Kakasu. All move up the dimensional shift of ether except the evil, wicked Kakasu. All right? 107. It is time to move higher and leave evil behind, or as they put it, left behind, to move to the 9th ether and then on to the final dimension, realm of deity, 7th, then 8th, right? That's what I'm here doing now. When you see the picture in the holy tablets in the back of me standing there as Ahmed Muhammad, and there's a vortex going up through my head to the crystal city with angels around it. You see all those people dressed in white gowns going up that tube, and then Sananda or Jesus leading them up. That's what's happening here. You're not necessarily going to be taken up in the craft. The information is coming through me, like it said in chapter 6 of the tablets. The Most High and I are one. Look deep into this light, you see 3 mems. Because the one here and the one there are one. He says, I explain things to my creation through this light. But niggers and crackers want to overpower me and talk and bring their ignorant slat, ask their dumb questions. And every time I bring people up to a certain speed, they want to say something dumb like it's a white Jesus or something. You understand what I'm saying? And I'd be like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Really. And then a black cop maybe bust in, let them talk. Like, oh, man, not you two, nigga. You understand? And people that's people that's trying to wake up get real confused. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
Okay, 108. Then his daughter would dwell on the 9th dimension, the perfected state of existence. That would be Ilion or Risk. The Nagalu, that means Negroid, black people, dwell on the 9th dimension, the perfected state of existence. Each shift is a gateway you must pass. Now, everybody with me has been chosen, evidently, or you wouldn't be with me, so you can make it. You understand? Regardless of what you think. Let me tell you about the gene pool. I was on Tamaray in the class in Solomon's Temple when Malachi was teaching. He was walking back and forth, had a puzzled look, and then he stopped and said, a lot of you all been giving trouble to a white woman that's married to a black man here. They got a bookstore, and y'all been giving her a bad time because she's white. But let me tell you about the gene pool here. A lot of you don't know. Only a master knows in front of, you see, she has O-type blood. And a lot of you all, in other words, a lot of y'all got monkey blood, and you look black on the outside, and this white woman is more brother than you, brother. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, if she's around me for a reason, clown. Because she can make it.
Ooh.
If she couldn't make it, she wouldn't be around me. All right. But a whole lot of you black-ass niggas need to be gone. All right. Now, let me see. What verse are we on?
Speak with us.
109. Okay.
109.
Thank you. Each shift is a gateway you must pass. You only. You do things that can hinder you. Love, greed, anger, lust, porth, health, metals in your body, tattoos of lead inks, things not natural to your matrix body, which can also be in foods like flesh, meats, have much iron in the blood. You have to be cleansed inside out and outside in. You must correct your health, and you can't pass through dimensions with your matrix body, physically or emotionally, with extra baggage. As in the Philadelphia experiment of August 12, 1943 AD, and the USS Eldridge craft boat. When it started in 1940 AD, they did not have the computer to do the math matrix to open the gate. So they got Dr. Emil Kurtenhauser, a physicist, to build an invisible machine to hide. That was 1930, 1932 AD, and in 1933 AD, and this can all be checked out on your computer. Look up the Invisibility Project, Philadelphia experiment. The USS Eldridge, right? AD, the project moved up the East Coast in Princeton, New Jersey. Then in 1934 AD, once the new computer was built, transferred to John Eric von Neumann. Once they got the crew who would be on the USS Eldridge and set the date, what they overlooked was the fact that one of the men was in love and was getting married that very day. Now, the problem is when he went down to get married, he jumped ship. And the MPs found out, and they went and got him, and he was all in love and forced him back to the boat. And when he got on the boat and they fired the generators, the emotion of love was so strong that everything kept popping in and out of... let me read on. Yet was ordered to report. He did not want to go. The military interrupted his marriage, and the MPs took him by force to the base to prepare. Now, when the experiment from Philadelphia's dock near Norfolk, Virginia, by using Albert Einstein's unified field theory became fact, and the craft and crew disappeared, all involved, such as Nikola Tesla, Dr. von Neumann, and Dr. Einstein, and Ed Letzkalnin, gathered by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who became president in 1933, while the craft ended up jumping time to 1983 AD in New York's Navy Yard, right? And the Navy was out there waiting for them, say, gentlemen, we wait, because when they jumped in, the men were taken to the hospital. What happened is that when the generator started blowing up and all that, the scientists jumped overboard in the water and left them people on board. And when they came up for air, 40 years had passed. From 1943, they came up in 1983, and the Navy brass was standing out there waiting for them to greet them and say, gentlemen, we've been waiting for y'all a very long time, right? Now check this out, the whole story. I'll send you a DVD in a spiritual package about it. All right. The men were taken to the hospital, and while there, the one who was emotionally involved in love faded back to 1943 because of the power of love and emotions. Remember that? Now, that took him back to 1943. That love was more powerful than death or time. So when people, like old people, love one another and they married, and one dies, the other one just wastes past time, can't wait to go back and get together with Harry again or Susie again. Do you understand? Because love binds and hatred, it destroys. This meant when the ship was to return, that this one person's zero time reference was not or no longer on the craft. So when it returned, their zero time reference was out of sync, and most of the men could not completely re-enter 1943 time zone and were trapped in the parts of the craft. This is how spirits get trapped after death in this physical dimensions. they are attached to their desires, or lust, greeds, loves, angers, hates, and killings. When you start doing all these emotional things, it traps you to this world. And like on the USS Eldridge during the Philadelphia experiment, when it disappeared, after they turned off the generators, a lot of the men were floating in the air. Some had returned to little babies. Some burst into flame. Some were stuck in between the deck and the metal and stuck in the iron walls and the steel walls. They were stuck half in and half out. They had to go with saws and cut them out and all that. It was a mess right there. Do you understand? And that's why these devils, black and white, are trying to trap you in this reality. Don't let them do it. Listen to me and go and get everybody and bring them here. This meant when the ship was to return that this one person zero time reference was not or no longer on the craft. So when it returned, their zero time reference was out of sync. And most of the men could not completely re-enter 1943, the time zone, and were trapped in the parts of the craft. This is how spirits get trapped after death. In this physical dimension, they are attached by their desires or lust, greeds, loves, anger, hates, and killings. So once they depart their physical body, their spirits are trapped. No one can help them. Thus they become wicked ghosts, demons, even ghouls. You can get trapped in this shift takes place as the Caucasus will be trapped if they have not mixed their genes with the Mangulu, Javadu, or Negroid. You see, that's why all of a sudden you see in every commercial white women with black people. They try to mix their seed. So now is the time, 24,000 year or the 26,000 year, because of the new nation, right? For the third dimensional harmonic shift, when the wormhole is made between Earth and Razak. That's called the stairway to heaven. So way back when I was King Tut in Egypt, and I am that Pharaoh. Like Malachi said, Millersville is the seat of a modern-day Pharaoh. He's talking about me, Amun. He said, Amun is going to, Ahmed, he called me. He said, Ahmed is going to bring the world into the 21st century. I'm trying to do it right now. But when I was the Pharaoh in Egypt thousands of years ago, I built a city called Armana. And there I was opening up the Stargate. That was you all stairway to heaven. And some evil priest named hit me in the back of the head with a blunt object and killed me at the age of 19. And another Pharaoh took my throne. That Pharaoh was Panabab-Yanun, was Malachi. Okay, so y'all been in hell all this time for nothing. I'm sorry. When the wormhole is made between Earth and Razak, Earth's ascension to a higher state or level, the prepared beings can cross over the wormhole of time. And how you going to get prepared with all that nigger and white bullshit? Sorry, I'm still mad. I'm angry from last class because I had people from Snoop Dogg. I had about 40 different new people there. And these devils showed their ass right then. And all them people was running away from class. If y'all know any of them, get them back. Okay, and space is 76 trillion miles of time. Yet, you, say it again.
Yes, who?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said, who? You said get them back, and I agree with you.
Yeah, get them back. Because the devil ran all them people off with all that evil nigger shit. Yet you must know the ritual needed, the beings needed, the tone needed, with all the right persons at the right time and place, or it is all in vain. Right? Know this, that what can trap you is you, and to what you attach yourself or being. Ascension is the path, sirat, of order that consciousness evolves, multidimensional energy, mechanics of the mind into mind, from mental through structural multidimensional system, representing universal order, through which consciousness experiences beings. In other words, you're thinking up people like your own body and stars and worlds. That's all in your mind, like this demon was trying to say, but trying to use it in a negative way to try to create doubt in the class because they're ignorant, can't see a move. Okay, in 1999 AD, the overlords, Kamau Pleiadians, came to Earth to ask the Kakasu, why have you not used the 6,000 years to rule with peace? 133. Why have they abused the children of Padnas Daru? In other words, why have white people taken the whole 6,000 years they were granted to torture black people, right? So they would not get an extension of time at the year 2000 AD, the end of 6,000 years from 4000 BC, before Christ. So that was way back when I was thinking, well, all right, so that means that they would not have any more extension after the year 2000. And what was the last year of Panabab-Yanun's rule? He had 30 years to rule.
1999.
Somebody tell me what year was Panabab's last year?
1999. I thought 2000.
Yeah. Now the devil's time was so. What year was the devil's rule up?
Year 1999. 2000.
In the year 2000. So it happened to be the same year as Panabab-Yanun's rule was up, right?
Right.
And whose rule is it from 2000 to 2030?
Yours. Amun.
I'm on the phone with you right now. Don't let these demons clown you. I'm your only way out of here. Right. Now mute your phones. Thank you.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so they will not be a part of the next dimensional shift. They're trapped at 6 ether. So in 2000 AD, the Anunnaki, as cherubim, Elohim, that's devils, Anakim, Aliat, returned with the anointed cherub, their Christ, for their rapture, and took 144,000 Caucasoids and offered them to the Lawitananu reptilians of Draco for offerings, and said between the years 2000 and 2012, they will take 300,000 people each day. Now that happened in Alaska, and what city? And Nome.
Nome, Alaska.
And Nome, Alaska. They abducted 300,000 white people for food in one night. People of all races except Negalu, Negroids. As for you, Panagalu, Sabak, the Negroid race, the first race seeding the planet Earth of three. Panagalu, Pamangalu, that's like the yellow people, and Pakakasu. We all also seeded the Earth with them. All from the root race Nagaru. The original plan called for each race to breed sub-races. So these other races are sub-races. The Negroids bred from themselves, the Dravadu, Indians, the Mongoloids bred from themselves, the Asian sub-races, the Caucasus bred from themselves, the Europeans. Each were to evolve and in end times assemble one divine DNA strand called HAR1 strand. 7, 8, 9 are divine DNA, right? So I remember I was sitting on the bed in the dark, and it was a being behind me, and he was in my back, shaking my back, and he asked me, how many? And I didn't know what he was talking about, so I didn't say that. He shook me again hard. He said, how many? I didn't know what he was saying. Then he did it real hard. How many? I said 7. He said, all right then. So you understand? You got to be either 7 ether, 8 ether, or 9 ether, right? And don't look at yourself in the mirror and think you know what you are. Only the masters know. All right. Each one you be black as coal and be a devil. Their etheric race, the Negroids, are unique. The only ones to remain Hammam still have human hair for their crown, while others mixed out of crossbred with canine to become Homo canine, simian to become Homo simian. That's dogs and monkeys. And in exchange for Wabar hair, grew Farar, fur, like the beast whom their DNA were mixed, with whom their DNA was mixed. So the divine was imprinted on the helix strands 7, 8, and 9. It stopped the Caucasus at 6. So on Earth, the physical race of Negroids, Africans held the divine gene.